awesome. But and I went into electronica for a bit and hip hop. So I was in New York in '87 when like DJ Red Alert was still the guy spinning, you know. So you would find out where the underground hip hop club was that night, because they weren't at static places. They just have to find a place before the cops would pull that out, pull the plug. And so, you know, this is a little bit before Tribe Called Quest, but you know, they were really starting to.
What kind of music would what kind of, wait, what'd you say?
Tribe Called Quest was like coming out then too. But you know, DJ Red Alert and folks who would compose Public Enemy, you know, he was.
So what kind of music would DJ Red Alert play?
At that time, it would, you know, some of it would be some Africa Bambaataa. Then he'd be going into Big Daddy Kane. Then he would go into, you know, Eric B. and Rakim or something like that. Or then you could tell he had found a, you know, Sugar Hill instrumental at the record store, and he would start mixing that in. And you couldn't leave the floor.
Yeah.
There was no way to leave the floor. And this is before, you know, heavy dance drugs or anything like that. You would just stay out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was great. And until the police came or something like that. And so at that time I was dating a girl who was kind of the door person at these places. So that's how I get the
hey, it's all about the perks. It's all about the perks.
Yeah. So that's how I got into some of the hip hop. And when I went back in 88, 89, then disco became a fun thing. So the disco fag night at the World.
Disco fag night.
Yeah.
Why? That's what it was called.
Yeah. It was run by you know, the gay
gay dudes.
Yeah. But you know, so suddenly I had all the disco coming back that I kind of lived through, but you know, the good stuff was good stuff, and when they would mix it well, again, it would be a great scene at these large, you know, it's before raves, you know, and before the Brooklyn warehouses became a thing. It still had to happen in Manhattan, you know, in an empty bank. There was a place called the Bank that was a big vault that you would just go into. That would be a sub dance floor. A
big vault.
Yeah.
Damn.
And and there would be sometimes he would do it on the elevated. So there were sections on the west side of New York that had old elevated trains, but the elevator had been taken down. But certain places were obviously what was a station, so the platform was still there. And it would have an overhang, like a cement overhang, but it was fairly off the ground. And someone would bring the generator, and that would become a hip hop party. And from what I understand now, those are all Trump buildings. Like, it's all gone. Like the meatpacking district used to be this crazy place. It was meatpacking district. At night, it was where all the transsexual hookers were at. You know, so if you were that kind of guy, and there was
I'm down.
Yeah.
Where are they at now? I can't find them anywhere.
I'll give you the down low later.
Thanks, man.
But, I'm not here for you. But so at night, that's what it was, and there was a couple close clubs there. And there's also something called DV8 that was in this building called the Anvil, and it was a serious S&M place that was there, famous for a while.
So wait, a serious S&M, like
S&M, yeah, the Anvil, yeah. So there was that there. I mean, the meatpacking used to be very interesting.
Would people just show up wearing like gimp masks and leather?
I didn't want to go into that. That wasn't, if I was up at 2 or 3 a.m., it was to be at a club. So like a Jackie 60 was and I forgot the name of the people, but you know, Miss Lady Bunny would be a version of it now, but the Mrs. Lady Bunny's predecessors would preside over these things, and it would be great music. And but now the meatpacking district is, I think it's been gentrified too. I mean, listen, that's why one of the reasons I left New York. It was completely gentrified.
Mm-hmm.
When I lived you know, in Avenue A back in '87, I was trying to decide where I was going to go, Chicago or not. You know, the CBGB's was still there. Save the Robots was this crazy place where people went after the hours. It was like one of the early after hours to sort of ride off the rest of their drugs. And the Bowery was kind of groovy. And it was a dangerous ass place. And Thompson Square was Needle Park. And then it started to get gentrified, you know, and then I started to see baby carriages being pushed in Needle Park. What the hell is this? And
I know it's like, I mean, we gotta just say though, like, as shitty gentrification is to the people who enjoy an area, it's so good for the economy. It's just like
absolutely.
Yeah. Like I've
been a vehicle of it for I've won. I mean, when I was in art school,